What's going on, y'all? So, we got She-Hulk, episode 2. I always do that. There we go. Just a little bit. Episode 2 called Superhuman Law. And this was a good episode. You know, the main thing was that we got to see the return of Emil Blonsky. Well, we seen it in Shang-Chi, but we see the actual, we see actually Emil in human form, and we get to see, and they use this episode to build on Incredible Hulk and on Bruce Banner and his family life. But let me give you a synopsis before I break this down. So, like I said, episode 2, Superhuman Law. Jen is hired as a I just messed that all up and then got tongue-tied. Jen is hired at a prestigious law firm, but must practice as She-Hulk and rep a complicated client. So, this episode picks up maybe roughly a day or two later, and Jen, while I simultaneously give her adoration for what she did, they chanting her name, She-Hulk. Like how if you saw in one of the trailers, they kept saying She-Hulk, boom, boom, She-Hulk. And now this is the episode where they actually, unedited like they did for the trailer, where they're just a group of, they just in the bar just screaming She-Hulk. But she gets the adoration for saving the jurors, but it comes with a price. As she begins to find out that being in her line of profession, she finds out that being the She-Hulk has a downside, and she goes through a turbulent time because of this. Now, you're wondering, why does she need to get hired at a law firm if she already worked for one? Well, one of the things happened is that she got fired. But but again, the context, I'm not going to give you why she got fired, but like I said, I did tell you why. It actually, it had something to do with her being She-Hulk. But I'm not going to give you the exact wording, but yeah, it had something to do with her being She-Hulk. And she finds out that in her line of profession, it complicates things. But an unlikely person gives her an offer. Now if you've seen this episode, you know who the person is. But got tongue-tied again. But for those who don't know, I won't reveal it. But it's a person from episode 1 that gives her a job at a law firm. But this is the part where we see what we saw from the trailers, where she's explained that they want her to head up the new Superhuman division because of all these superhuman people popping up out of nowhere. And basically, it's a law. This law firm created a division specifically to deal with to have an attorney just for superheroes and or the villains. And Jen is not the only one. There are multiple people in there. We introduced to a guy who gives them a welcome basket, i.e., Prometheus from Arrow. If for all my Arrow fans, I'm gonna just say that the person who welcomes Jen and them to the Superhuman law firm, that's also a lawyer there, is Prometheus. So I'm keen on seeing how his character is gonna play out in this. But so Jen gets the lowdown, but then like they show in the trailer, she learns who the client, her first client, would be. And that's when she tells him, "Hey, I can't do this. I can't represent this client. I know who Emil Blonsky is. He's the guy who tried to kill my cousin. I got a big conflict of interest." And he said the trailer made him seem like he was a dick when he just said, "Yeah, that's quite all right." And he still was, but once you watch the whole scene, it is a reason why he thinks it's all right. So, he gives her this piece of paper and tells her she got a choice. She either taking the job means she has to take Oblonsky on as a client, or she could, because of conflict of interest, she could not take the job. She could not take the client, but that also means she won't get the job. That's like the string attached to the whole deal. Also, she has to do it all while as She-Hulk. That's the other purpose of the Superhuman Law Division, is that they only want her in She-Hulk form. So like any job, she has to come in uniform. Her uniform, unfortunately, is transforming into She-Hulk. So which makes sense why we see her in She-Hulk form, like we see in those trailers where they start showing her in more She-Hulk form than Jen form, and that's because her new job requires her to just basically be She-Hulk as her, while she's in work. Finally, we get to Blonsky, and this is probably this is actually my favorite part of the episode, is meeting Blonsky and his explanation for what happened. She gets into a conversation with him about, he said, let's get the elephant out the room. He knows that she is Bruce's cousin, and she like, I know who you are, and blah blah blah, and then they get to talking, and he explains how basically his case is winnable, and his defense is that, and this is what they continuation from the Incredible Hulk. His defense is that the U.S. government that he was on loan to pumped him full of super soldier serum, and he's basically his defense. He's saying that made him act out like that. So not only a continuation of Incredible Hulk, but also a continuation of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where in Falcon and the Winter Soldier we learned that the super soldier serum could actually, just like we learned in Captain America: The First Avenger too, that the super soldier serum could either have negative or positive side effects depending on the person. And he's saying, I wanted to be bloody Captain America, or I thought I was going to be Captain America. So he explained he thought he was the good guy, and such and such. And Jen realized that his case is actually winnable because she did not know that his actions in the Incredible Hulk was due to them pumping him full of super soldier serum, and that he seems to be reformed. Other than that, the episode was good. It's a post credits. It's another post credit scene. Just a fun little post credit scene with her and the family. I ain't gonna tell you what, specifically, but it's a post credit scene. A nice little funny post credit scene, similar to the one in the first episode. The one thing I will say about this episode I did not like, as though I did like the explanation Blonsky that he gave, it felt like that was a departure from the character, because in the comic books, Abomination or Emil Blonsky was evil. He wasn't really like he wasn't a person that would just, because he was misused or pumped full of drugs, he was actually evil. But in terms of this, he was basically, I don't want them to go away from the comics. I want him to be a villain. And it seemed like their take, or what they changed about Blonsky from the Universal movie, it seemed like he is genuinely remorseful for what happened. Though I hope this is just like a ploy. It's too early to tell, but this would be a real shame if they actually try to make him like a good guy where he should be a bad guy. Anything else I missed before I close this video out? Oh, There is a continuation of the whole. Finally, we got another continuation from the Sakaar ship that almost killed Bruce or caused Bruce and Jen to get into the accident. There's another little section of that that's dedicated to that. That also might hint to the fact that we might be getting World War Hulk after all, or at least another or actual movie about it. But it'll be, they already kind of did it in Thor Ragnarok, so it's probably be a little spin to it. But it looks like we are heading towards a solo movie. With that being said, though, I'm gonna give it this episode. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because I still enjoyed myself. I just didn't like the whole, the genuine vibe I got that Emil was actually trying to be a reformed villain. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoyed this video, you hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my season 2 reactions. Wrong thing, Byron, or LilBigMan. I got that all messed up. For all of my reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit those buttons. And as always, hit one of these videos for more of my amazing content, because I got more coming. I got more reactions, more gameplay, and more reviews, because we got SmackDown. So, peace.